Turkish football is insane. From having two of the most promising youngsters in football, to a league filled with top players you forgot about, to fights breaking out on the pitch during a league game, and presidents punching referees, there is never a dull day for Turkish fans. They have even added Jose Mourinho to the mix to add even more entertainment to the league. While all the drama might be stealing the headlines, there is some awesome stuff happening in Turkish football that needs to be talked about. It's pretty insane that in a list of top 10 most valuable teenagers in world football, 2 of them are Turkish. Arda Güler and Kenan Yıldız are exceptional talents. Both are incredibly young. Both are playing for top clubs in the highest level of European football. Güler was generational when he was at Fenerbahce. There's a reason why Barcelona and Real Madrid were after him. He assisted in his first Super League match and became Fenerbahce's youngest goal scorer. Number 10, left-footed, technically gifted, there's a reason he was considered the Turkish Messi. With the world at his fingertips, Güler picked Real Madrid. He started the season off with multiple injuries, so it was hard for him to get in rhythm, but by the end of the season he had 6 goals in just 10 appearances and became the first Turkish player ever to win the Champions League. Kenan Yıldız is enjoying his time at Juventus after joining from Bayern Munich in 2022 and spending a year in the youth setup of the Italian Giants. The striker hasn't been exactly prolific as he only has 6 goals in 39 appearances, but he is playing a good part as Vlahovic's backup. The German-born forward has played for Turkey at youth and senior levels. He is still young and can become one of the biggest talents in world football if he continues his development in Serie A. With the number of brilliant teenagers in world football right now, it's actually very impressive for Yıldız to be considered in the top 15 most valuable. It's not just the young Turkish players that have been good either. Çalhanoğlu was exceptional for Inter Milan when they won the Scudetto in 2024. He got a lot of hate for the way he left Milan and he went to a direct rival, but he honestly reinvented himself as a deep-lying playmaker. He was even named the midfielder of the season for the 2024 season. Now, it's not surprising to see Turkey have talented players. I mean, you look at players like Arda Turan, who was amazing at Atletico Madrid and was decent at Barca. He wasn't as good as he was for Atletico, but he did score twice against Sevilla to win the 2016 Supercopa de España and became one of just 6 players in Barca history to score a hat-trick in the Champions League. How about Nuri Sahin, who was seen as a superb talent at Dortmund? He never fulfilled his true potential at Madrid or Liverpool, but for a period of time, he was considered one of the most talented central midfielders. Although his career as a player never panned out to what it could have been, he is now officially the manager of Borussia Dortmund, so he's still using his football IQ at a very high level. Even Hamid Altintop was a good player, having played well for Schalke and Bayern Munich. Now also imagine if players like Gundogan, Özil, and Emre Can also chose to represent Turkey. Now, of course, star quality isn't everything. I mean, Turkey's biggest problem has nothing to do with the quality of his players. In fact, Turkey's best run came when they played as a team together as a unit in Euro 2008. In that tournament, they made it out of Group A after beating Switzerland and the Czech Republic. An insane run of games, by the way. They beat Switzerland thanks to a 92nd minute goal from Arda Turan. Then they beat the Czech Republic after being down 2-0, with 2 of the goals coming in the 87th and 89th minute. In the quarterfinals, they played against a super talented Croatian team. The Turkish fans definitely thought their journey was over when Klasnic scored in the 119th minute, but then Semi scored in the 122nd minute to send the game to penalties. Turkey ended up winning the game on penalties. Unfortunately, they ended up losing in the semifinals to Germany, but what a run. Beautiful football, multiple last-minute winners. Turkey has shown the world that not only are they talented, but they have heart. Fast forward till now, and although the Turkish national team has never recreated that miracle run, they do have 2 of the most talented teenagers in world football. Güler seriously has the potential to be a future Ballon d'Or winner. He's exceptional on the ball, and I think as the years go by, he's going to get more and more playing time at Real Madrid and continue to develop. With Kos gone, I think Ancelotti is going to use Güler more in the midfield to help with maintaining possession and offer creativity. Yıldız could become one of the best number 9s in the world, not just Serie A. The future looks super bright. The domestic league in Turkey itself is filled with a lot of talented players. A lot of big name players that you might have forgot are still playing, you'll find them in the Super League. You got Mauro Icardi, Edin Dzeko, Mertens, Balotelli, Dusan Tadic, Ziyech, and more. The league is also very competitive. I mean, it went down to the last match day in the 2024 season as Galatasaray won the league over Fenerbahce by just 3 points. The 2 teams also only had 3 losses between them in 38 matches. Unfortunately, while the league is very competitive with a lot of great players, there's also a lot of issues. In December of 2023, a referee was attacked on the pitch by the president of Ankaragücü, Faruk Koçe. The referee, Halil Umit Meler, was also kicked on the head while on the floor by Koçe's henchmen. Koçe later claimed his actions were due to the referee's poor decisions and provocative behavior. He even downplayed the punch and called it a slap. At the time, Turkish Football Federation suspended all league games, but this wasn't the only incident to go down. Fenerbahçe was playing Trabzonspor. Fenerbahçe took a 2-0 lead before Trabzonspor equalized from the penalty spot in the 78th minute. Michy Batshuayi provided the winning goal in the 87th minute, at which point some Trabzonspor supporters began throwing objects onto the pitch, per the BBC. After the match ended, Trabzonspor supporters stormed the pitch and fought with security forces and Fenerbahçe players. Footage of the incident surfaced on social media. A supporter is shown running at the Fenerbahçe players. Defender Bright Osay Samuel confronts the person, which further escalates the situation. Fenerbahçe was furious at the handling of the situation by the Turkish Federation. Trabzonspor only got a punishment of 6 matches being played behind closed doors and 3 million liras. Meanwhile, several Fenerbahçe players were suspended simply for defending themselves. Following this incident, Fenerbahçe was involved in another impactful moment in Turkish football, when they faced Galatasaray in the Turkish Super Cup. Now firstly, Fenerbahçe was very unhappy with the timing of this game. It gave them no rest for their Conference League match against Olympiacos. As a result, they fielded a team of under-19s and then abandoned the field after Icardi's first goal, which was less than a minute into the game. This led to Galatasaray celebrating the championship due to the 3-0 result awarded by the referee, while Fenerbahçe made a statement on social media. Amongst the celebrations on social media, Fenerbahçe issued the following message. This, combined with the incident of the fans of Trabzonspor invading the field to attack Fenerbahçe players, led the club to consider abandoning the Super League. This decision was driven by their frustration with the lack of security and the bias they saw was coming from the Turkish Football Federation. It reflected some deep-rooted issues within Turkish football. However, after meeting with officials and members, they chose to not leave. Now, imagine adding the special one to this league. The entertainment next season is going to be unreal, as Jose Mourinho has been revealed as the newest manager of Fenerbahçe. Mourinho is super charismatic, and judging from his first press conference, the Fenerbahçe fans are already behind him all the way. With players like Dzeko, Fred, and Tadic, Mourinho should be able to do some big things. Who knows, he might even end the trophy league drought that Fenerbahçe has been dealing with. In general though, I do feel bad for the Turkish fans. Turkey has some of the most passionate fans in the world. Just look at the atmosphere of any Galatasaray game. A lot of United players spoke numerous times about how they never experienced an atmosphere like it, as they were welcomed by a massive tifo saying welcome to hell. United arrived in Turkey, were greeted by fans at the airport holding banners and swarming the players, and their lives were made a nightmare right through until the match itself. But it's difficult for the fans to enjoy the football in their country when there are so many issues behind the scenes. There was a match-fixing scandal in the 2011 season. People had been arrested from the boardrooms to the dressing rooms. There had been wiretaps and photographic evidence, confessions and criminal charges and trials and guilty verdicts. Corruption went from the pitch to the presidency level, not only at Fenerbahçe but also at Beşiktaş and many other clubs, and players were involved in one or more corrupt matches. Many of the people were acquitted years later, but it still left questions for Turkish fans that just want to enjoy watching their team play football. There is also a lot of politics intertwined with the clubs. 2 weeks after Koçe punched a ref, Istanbulspor's presidents came onto the pitch and instructed his side to walk off with 15 minutes to go after not being awarded a penalty. The referee had made the correct decision, by the way. When there's always this aura of corruption, fans don't know if their team won or lost legitimately. It sours the experience of a very awesome league, and it makes Turkish football lose credibility. There's a lot of talent in the Super League and even more Turkish talent abroad. Those players deserve to be appreciated and talked about, way more than all the drama that's been stealing the headlines. They have the fans, they have the players, it's just due to the bureaucracy that the Turkish league has not been scaled to a top 5, top 6 league. It's a shame to see. Now, the Turkish league isn't the only league to be under a lot of scrutiny. The same thing is happening in the Premier League. To see how Leicester City went from battling financial issues and being relegated to fighting their way back to England's top flight, check out this video right here.